other than D.J. Williams, young man who rushed for over 300 yards on Friday night. How are we doing today, DJ?
I'm doing pretty good. I just got done with school.
I mean, looking at that, you got done schooling the Spartans defense too on Friday night. 300 yards, first time ever in Falcons history. And I mean, there's a long list of talented runners. I was seeing on Twitter too, you got some love from Antwan Harris, the man you broke the record from. What did that mean to you to have all that love and see all that support from current Fitch Falcons now and alumni giving you that love after breaking that record?
It means a lot to me. There's a lot of great football players come through Austintown Fitch, and for me to be the only one in history to rush for 300 yards and break the single game rush record is pretty special.
Did you know it was going on during the game? Were you being informed, or was this something completely news to you after the game? How'd you find out?
Me having 300 yards was news to me after the game. I knew I had a lot of yards, but I didn't think I had that much. And then before one of our offensive drives, one of my coaches came up to me and was like, "You only 2 yards away from breaking the single game rushing record." And I didn't know what it was at the time. So I was like, "Oh, I just got to get these 2 yards and I'm being in the record books." And I end up having 300 yards.
And that's a crazy stat line too. And you were giving a lot of love to your offensive line as well too. What makes this offensive line so good and give you the opportunity to be so productive week in and week out?
What makes our O-line so special is that they got a lot of heart. They're not the biggest O-line, but they for surely will put all their effort into what they're doing. And they all move as a unit, and that's what you need as a running back. You need your O-line to move as a unit, and they get the job done.
This big week came after a Wadsworth game where you guys went 4 overtimes, and you were basically the primary featured back in that one after an early injury to Jamell. What were the talks with Coach Parker and with your offensive coordinators going forward after that injury, knowing that you're going to get the brunt of the snaps going into this game and games going forward?
Really, talk with Coach Parker and Coach Landerman was just like, we're just going to stick with our run game. There's no need to change anything up. It's just we don't have me and Jamal. It was just me. But coaches had faith in me to do what I had to do and get the job done. That's what I did on Friday versus Boardman.
Did you have to flip a switch with when that happened too, knowing you were about to get a lot more snaps, or did you get energized? Did that motivate you a little bit?
Oh, yeah, I did get motivated a little bit because I was like, it's my time to show what I could really do without Jamel. Even though I love Jamel a lot, I want him to come back as soon as possible. But it was just my chance to show people, like, yeah, this was going to be like my senior year.
Carry that load, and you took it forward. Is football a part of your future? Do you want it to be a part of the future? Is that something in the plans of DJ Williams going forward?
Yes, I want football to be my future for surely. I love football. I've been playing football since I was 5. It's just always been a part of me and my family, and hopefully I can go to the next level and play college football.
Looking at the next level too, what are some things that you look for in particular from programs, from coaches? What are the things that you've liked and you've learned along the way that you've grown to adapt and grown accustomed to in your coaching style? What are your preferences in coach?
Well, me personally, I like when the coaches have a tight bond with their players, because that means the coaches, like, it's just not about football with the coaches. It means like they actually care about the well-being of their kids and how we all develop as young men.
You got a lot of great teammates on this team too, that, I mean, you guys all support each other. Guys like Brian Robinson too, great defender, Josh Fitzgerald too. I mean, all over the place. Deshaun Vaughn's taken over. How close-knit is this team? Because it seems like the chemistry has been turned up to 11 ever since Coach Parker has taken over too. What are some of the things that he enforces about building that chemistry and that bond, that brotherhood amongst the team?
Well, I know in the summertime, sometimes we take trips, like we go to a water park together, or we do like team activities. But a lot of us, we all just hang out on our own. Like we go over each other's houses and hang out and do stuff like that. And the chemistry is very tight because the senior and junior class right now, we all been playing together since we were like in 5th grade, 6th grade. So like our chemistry is very tight, and we just all gel together well and play good.
You guys got, I mean, you got that 300-yard game under your belt now. I mean, that's a great record, another record that you can solidify your name under. But this didn't just start this year. I mean, we go back to Canton McKinley last year. I mean, you had a big game too in Hall of Fame Stadium, and you've always been not shy to those big moments. What does it mean to you when like the lights are shining bright? It's Fitch and Boardman. It's a rivalry game. Your juices, you don't have to really get up for this game. They should be flowing, but what enables you to shine bright when the lights are shining brightest on you?
Because I work my hardest when I'm at practice. If you work hard at practice, the games will be like practice. So I just at practice, I just go hard, give all my effort. So when Friday comes, it's like second nature to me, and it's not like too big of a moment for me.
I know football players too, all athletes really, never satisfied too, always wanting to get better, always wanting to take that next step. So from sophomore year to junior year, what were the biggest things you wanted to focus on improving in your game, and what were the things you wanted to look at in practice in the weight room and focusing on?
One thing I knew for sure I had to do was get faster. To be Division I running back, you got to be pretty fast. I want to get faster, stronger, and I also want to get smarter in the film room. I want to learn more about like defensive fronts and more about like our blocking schemes and how we run our plays to get better. So in the game, when I get in there, the run game just come easy to me, and I can understand what's going on everywhere, not just what I'm doing.
In all your years of football, what's been a piece of advice or maybe a quote, a motto that a coach has told you that's really stuck with you throughout your career?
One quote that's always stuck with me is just work hard when nobody's looking. Like everybody can work hard when the coach is right there. It's about what you're doing when the coach is not there. Like you got to motivate yourself to be great.
Go through those workout routines and how much hard work goes into being the type of athlete that you've become. And I mean, give that kind of blueprint for all those young athletes, those young football players, as you remember when you started out too, that are looking up to you just breaking this record. What is that? What's the advice? Lay out the blueprint. How do you get to your levels of success? What's the things people aren't seeing?
I lift 2 to 3 days a week. But even though I lift, recovery is also important. Like after practice, if I'm feeling any like bumps or bruises or I'm tight anywhere, I stretch, get some ice, take ice baths, and stretch. That's all it really is. You gotta make sure your body is always feeling good and healthy and prepared for the next game.
You talk about raising that football IQ. I mean, best way to learn it too is just from the players too, the seniority that's above you. What were some senior players and some players that were above you in class too that you really looked up to from your journey starting out on this football team to now that you really learned from and they kind of took you under their wing?
Some people who really helped me my freshman year, Tyree Mitchell, AJ Bird, Nate Leskovac, Todd Simons, obviously Devin Sherwood, and just really all my teammates for real. They all and all the upperclassmen, they all help like we all help with the younger classmen and just make sure they know everything and make them feel like they're supposed to be here. Like we just want to help them make sure that they're good. So when they become upperclassmen, they can do the same thing to the classmen up under them.
Who's a player that you've kind of taken under your wing or that you're taking pride in seeing their success too as an underclassman and that you want to see become successful at the varsity level one day?
Um, One of our linebackers and another one of our backup running backs, Jay Allen Underwood, he has number 8. He's pretty good. I took him up under my wing because me and him play the same positions on offense and defense. So I'll just be teaching him like what be happening and trying to help him out so he can become the best player that he can be.
You get to be in the locker room with Coach Parker. You know the culture, the identity of what it means to be a Falcon. For all those underclassmen, for all those middle schoolers that are looking to be at this level, to get to the varsity stage too, what's the best advice you have for them on what it means to be a Falcon and what to expect?
They should take a lot of pride in being a Falcon. Wearing a Fitch Falcon football jersey every Friday ain't easy. It's a lot of hard work and pride and determination that's put into what we do as a program and as a football team. And it's just not about football. It's about everything. We are all about building character and things like that. So when they get up here to the high school level, they should expect a lot, but it's going to be a lot if you want to be a Fitch Falcon.
Before we let you go, I mean, we're one more game on the season too. It's against Harding. I know you guys are trying to get yourself solid playoff positioning as well. And Harding Raiders never make it easy. Throw records out the window with this game again. They're good athletes on both sides of the ball too. What's the mentality like going into the Raiders week, and what are the talks right now inside the locker room hosting Warren Harding week 10, chance to get 9 wins on the season?
The talk with Warren is just because their record isn't that good doesn't mean they're not good. Like you said, they have good players on both sides of the ball. Warren always has good athletes. We just got to do our job, focus in on the film, and do our job and be assignment sound. And Friday, we will see what happens at the game.
All right, DJ. I mean, you're already off breaking records too, and I mean, we expect you to just keep on keeping on. I guess the final question too, before I let you go, you had 300 yards rushing, you had 30 yards receiving, over 332. I mean, you already throw out love to the 330 too. Did it mean that much more that you had over 330 in the 330?
Yeah, I didn't even know that until now. Until you just brought it up to me. That is pretty special.
Get the 330 from the 330. DJ Williams, the record breaker over there at Austintown Fitch, 300 yards in that game. We wish you the best of luck, man. Good luck against Harding, and hopefully we'll be talking about another win real soon.
All right, thank you for having me.
Thank you.